last period we learn about the concept of the gravity. Gravity change with depth, height, altitude, and gravity is also change on the earth at different places. Today we are going to study of the concept of mass and weight. Mostly students have misunderstood that the mass and weight are the same. But no, there are several differences between the mass and weight. No doubt they are related with each other, but some differences are between them. Now let us see the concept of the mass. Mass is nothing but the mass of the body is the amount of matter present in it is called the mass. It means simply defined as mass of body is the amount of matter present in it. In मराठी पदार्थामध्ये असलेल्या द्रव्य संचाला वस्तुमान असे म्हणतात. Simply defined as the amount of matter present in it is called as mass. Second, one of the most important point accordance with the mass is that the mass do not change from place to place. Mass is always same at everywhere in universe. So the mass does not change from place to place. म्हणजे वस्तुमान हे विश्वामध्ये सर्वत्र सारखं असतं. कोणत्याही पदार्थाचं वस्तुमान मास ऑफ द बॉडी डज नॉट चेंज फ्रॉम प्लेस टू प्लेस. ते वेगवेगळ्या ठिकाणी बदलू शकत नाही. इट इज ऑलवेज सेम ॲट एव्हरीवेअर इन युनिवर्स. थर्ड, one of the most important point is that the mass have magnitude do not direction. The mass has the magnitude, do not direction. So of course it is the scalar quantity. Scalar quantity in Marathi it is called as Adish Rashi. It means that because of the mass is only described by magnitude, not described by the direction. So it is the scalar quantity. Ultimately it is scalar quantity. Why it is scalar quantity? Because of it is only described by the magnitude. It is only described by the magnitude. Does not describe by the direction. So it is a scalar quantity. Another one of the most important thing is that the mass is never zero. Mass is never zero at everywhere or at different places. म्हणजे वस्तुमान हे कधीही शून्य नसतं. So the mass is the never zero. Next most important point with the mass is that mass is related with the inertia. It is related with the inertia. Related with inertia of the body. It is related with the inertia of the body. And there are the several difference between the mass and weight. So the mass, once again, the mass is nothing but, it is simply defined as the amount of matter present in it. म्हणजे पदार्थाच्या मध्ये असलेल्या द्रव्य संचाला वस्तुमान असे म्हणतात. The mass does not change from place to place. म्हणजे वस्तुमान हे एका ठिकाणाहून दुसऱ्या ठिकाणी बदलत नाही. The mass have the magnitude. Mass has the magnitude, do not direction. वस्तुमानाला मॅग्निट्यूड असतं पण दिशा नसते. इट इज सो दॅट्स वाय इट इज द स्केलर क्वांटिटी, म्हणून त्याची क्वांटिटी स्केलर आहे. नेक्स्ट इज द मास इज द नेव्हर झिरो. मास हे कधी शून्य नसतं, वस्तुमान हे कधी शून्य नसतं. इट इज रिलेटेड विथ द इनर्शिया. मास इज रिलेटेड विथ द इनर्शिया. ते जडत्वाशी संबंधित असतं. And next is that one of the most important thing, the SI unit of mass is kilogram. SI unit of mass is kilogram. म्हणजे वस्तुमानाचं SI युनिट हे किलोग्रॅम मध्ये असतं. Now let us see the next concept, that is the weight. The weight of the body the force of gravity by which Earth attract towards it. In Marathi, वजन म्हणजे काय? What is meant by weight? कोणताही पदार्थ किंवा वस्तू ही जर गुरुत्वीय बलाच्या प्रवण क्षेत्रामध्ये असेल तर त्या वस्तूवरती प्रयुक्त होणारं गुरुत्वीय बल म्हणजे वजन. The weight of the body is nothing but the force of gravity by which Earth attracts towards it. The force of the gravity on an object by which the Earth attracts towards it. Simply it is defined as the force exerts on the body. The force exerts on the body due to the gravity. The force attracts or force exerts on the body due to the gravity. It is also called as weight. Second thing, weight can be changed from place to place. Weight can be changed from place to place. वजन जे असतं ते एका ठिकाणाहून दुसऱ्या ठिकाणाहून बदलत असतं. वेट कॅन बी चेंज फ्रॉम प्लेस टू प्लेस. वाय? बिकॉज वेट इज रिलेटेड विथ द फोर्स and the force of gravity change at the different places of the earth. That depends on the radius of the earth, that depends with the height, then altitude, and so the weight can be changed from place to place. It is never same. It can be changed from place to place. वजन हे एका ठिकाणाहून दुसऱ्या ठिकाणी बदलत असतं. The weight has both magnitude and direction. The weight has both magnitude and direction. That's why it is vector quantity. In Marathi it is called as सदिश राशी. Because it is described by both magnitude and direction. That's why it is the vector quantity. Weight can be zero. At the center of Earth. Why? Because at the center of the Earth, the gravity is zero. Ultimately, the effect of force is zero on that object at the center of the Earth. That's why weight can be zero at the center of the Earth. म्हणजे पृथ्वीच्या केंद्रबिंदूपाशी वजन, पदार्थाचं वजन हे काय असतं? झिरो असतं. Weight is related with the force. With the force. Weight is related with the force. Our weight is more on the pole of the Earth as compared to the equator, because of the on the pole the radius of the Earth is less as compared to the equator. That's why there is increase the gravity on the pole, and so ultimately our weight is also increased at the pole, or more at the pole as compared to the equator. So the weight is related with the force of gravity. Next is the SI unit of weight is Newton. Why? Because weight is related to the force, and the SI unit of the force is Newton. Ultimately, the SI unit of weight is also Newton. Once again, listen as carefully, and once again in short, what are the difference between the mass and weight? The mass is nothing but the amount of matter present in the body is called as the mass, while weight, the weight is nothing but the weight of the body, that the force of the gravity by which the earth attracts towards it, or force exert on body due to the gravity. It is also called as weight. Then the mass does not change from place to place. म्हणजे वस्तुमान हे एका ठिकाणाहून दुसऱ्या ठिकाणी बदलत नसतं. बट वेट कॅन बी चेंज फ्रॉम प्लेस टू प्लेस. परंतु वजन हे एका ठिकाणाहून दुसऱ्या ठिकाणी बदलत असतं. वाई? बिकॉज ऑफ मास इज रिलेटेड विथ इनर्शिया, वाइल द वेट इज रिलेटेड विथ द force of gravity. Force of gravity is different at the different places. That's why the weight can be changed from place to place. The mass have the magnitude, do not direction. Mass have only magnitude, do not direction. म्हणजे वस्तुमानाला फक्त काय असतं? मॅग्निट्यूड असतं, दिशा नसते. The weight has both magnitude and direction. वजनाला दोघं मॅग्निट्यूड पण असतं आणि डिरेक्शन पण असतो. सो दॅट्स वाय इन द केस ऑफ मास इट इज द स्केलर क्वांटिटी. म्हणून वस्तुमान ही अदिश राशी आहे, अँड वेट इज द वेक्टर क्वांटिटी ही सदिश राशी आहे, बिकॉज weight is described by both magnitude and direction. That's why it is a vector quantity, while mass is only described by the magnitude, not described by the direction. That's why it is a scalar quantity. Next point is that the mass is never zero. वस्तुमान हे कधी शून्य नसतं. Weight can be zero at the center of the earth. वजन हे पृथ्वीच्या केंद्रापाशी शून्य असतं. Mass is related with the inertia of the body, while weight is related with the force. म्हणजे वस्तुमान हे जडत्वाशी संबंधित असतं आणि वजन हे बलाशी संबंधित असतं. The most important point of the mass is that the SI unit of mass is kilogram. मासचं SI unit हे किलोग्राम मध्ये असतं, and the SI unit of weight is Newton, and वेटचं SI unit हे न्यूटन मध्ये असतं. So there is a several difference between the mass and weight. Both concepts are related with each other, no doubt, but there is some difference between the mass and weight. So there are the several different between them, just to be learn about that.